glanced through it. I think I was off.
Well, it was an Excel spreadsheet that I put
Yeah.
together, and then I ended up splitting it up, so I thought that it would be easier for you guys to read. That looked like her report, but I wasn't sure if it was what you wanted.
Yeah, that should work.
Alrighty then, good to go.
I can live with that. Police chief, is there something going on with, do you know about those St. Paddy's, the shirts from the police department?
What about it?
Is there something going on? They said that it was supposed to get an email on when they're pickup and everything.
Owen Farrell has them. And I saw him walking over here. What he told me yesterday was they arrived so late, they delivered them yesterday. Yeah, I know yesterday he was part
Okay.
of the thing, so they were, I shouldn't say this yet, but.
Well, if I could have everybody's attention, go ahead and call the meeting to order at exactly 9 o'clock. And if we could have the approval of today's agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made, second. Second, all in favor, sign of aye. Ayes have it. Approval of the minutes.
Move the approval as written.
All in favor, sign of aye. Ayes have it. New business, police recruitment process.
Yes, so we've spent the last, I think we're at our third month talking about this right now. So what you have in front of you today is just a memo that summarizes the process that we went over last month. And I did not receive any questions from any of the commissioners on that. And then behind it is the job description. We don't propose any changes to that. Just to briefly summarize the process, we plan to have the application open for about a month. We will then administer the state mandated physical ability test there, followed by the written exam, and that's also a state mandated. There's 4 components there, and the candidates have to pass each section with at least 70%. There will then be backgrounds and polygraphs done, and then the finalists will be interviewed, and we'll bring the list forward to you. So that's an overview of the process. No changes from what we have presented from the last 2 months. So we would be looking for an actual vote today approving this process, and then plan to post it, I would say, sometime by the end of the week.
Any questions?
I have a question about these statistics, but I don't know if that now is the moment.
Is it regarding police officer?
The statistics that were presented,
Those are for the lists.
Is that, so that wouldn't,
Those are not.
testing who passed and who failed.
Oh, nope, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
so any other questions? Motion needed for the approval of the,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor, sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass.
Okay.
Old business. Certification list for firefighters.
All right. This is the firefighter position. We have spent the last many months working on this position, so I especially want to thank Courtney Jones. She will return to us next week. She has been out enjoying time with her new baby, but she has put in a significant amount of work on this particular process and worked very closely with Fires Command to make sure that we end up with a qualified pool of candidates. This is an entry-level position to the fire department. There were several different components with this one, just as we discussed with the police officer. We started out with the CPAT, which is the physical. That's just a straight pass or fail. That was followed by a written exam that was worth 30%. and then an interview that was worth 70%. And I just wanted to remind you that we had brought forward those questions and what we were thinking for that process to you prior. Each component has to be passed with at least a 70% or higher, except for the CPAT, and again, that was just the straight pass or fail, and a starting salary of just over $53,000. So when we look at the statistics here, we did have 205 applications. 8 completed more than one or did not meet the minimum qualifications. So we ended up inviting 197 to take the CPAT. Of the 197, 66 passed. And I just wanted to make note here that there were also 2 practice dates that were available to our candidates. So there were, a lot of opportunities for them to pass there, but we did end up with 66. The 66 moved on to the written exam and 41 passed. Of the 41 passing the written exam, we then asked them to create a personal history statement where they go through and answer many questions, and then we conduct the backgrounds. So of the 41, 5 failed the backgrounds, 2 withdrew from the process, 1 did not respond to the mandatory questionnaire, 1 did not show up for the interview, and 3 did not pass the interview. So with that, we ended up with 29 on the list. By the statute, we can only have 30, so I'm pretty pleased with that and think we have a full complement of a list. Are there any questions on that one? And Chief Carlston,
No.
I don't know if you had anything that you wanted to add
Well,
on this.
the only thing I wanted to add on this right now was I just wanted to thank the commission and thank HR. The last 14, 15 months, this is the 9th testing process from the fire department we brought forward to you. It's been quite a task for HR, and I appreciate the support of the commission.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any other questions?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Okay, of the 29 who are listed for certification, how many openings do we have? And how many of those can expect, have a possibility of getting hired?
Right now, it's kind of difficult to say. We'll have probably 3 openings for sure during this time period. No one else has actually committed to that. We could have anywhere from that 3 to 7, maybe up to 10. It's kind of difficult to see when individuals decide to retire. If something happens, they are no longer to be part of the fire department. Those are unknowns we don't know out there. But right now, we are looking at probably 3 within the next 6 months.
Well, out of those 29, how do you choose the 3?
A lot of it is based on whatever we bring them back in for an interview. We kind of see if they're going to be a good fit for the organization, and we go based off that. So typically, if we're looking for opening of 3, we'll bring 6 to 8 individuals in for an interview process just to kind of see where they're at. Right now, it's a very competitive market. So out of all the individuals on this list, if they have a lot of background in EMS or in fire, they may be also recruiting in other cities. So when we contact someone, they may take the first come, first serve, so we may not have those individuals available to us.
Who makes that final choices? Do you?
The fire department staff does, yes. And then I make the final choice on it.
Committee for it or something?
What's that?
You have a committee?
Correct, yes. We involve all the fire department staff involved in that.
And how long is this certification list good for?
This list will be good for 2 years.
So you won't make a new list or add to it for 2 years?
Correct. And that's customary, and that's where we're at right now. And the reason we're starting this process is because we are at the end of our 2-year mark and we're starting over again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next list that we are going to certify, hopefully, street equipment operator. This was a promotional position within the Public Works Department. The written exam that we give is worth 100%, so there is no practical attached to this because, again, it's a promotional, so most of the people have been trained prior to them taking the actual test. The list is ready for certification, and with that we have several people on the list, but the starting salary is commensurate because they are a longevity group, Teamsters is, so it could be anywhere within that salary range that I have up here. It really depends on where they are already on the scale for Teamsters. There were 9 applications. All were tested. They all passed the written exam, and so they are all 9 on the list. And as you had requested earlier, the statistics are in front of you as well, so that should give you all of the information for this list.
We have 10 on the start process on our list. Was one a duplicate application?
Yes, it was a duplicate. That happens quite a bit, so we just have to take them out of the process. But any other questions?
This ethnicity report, I just have a question, I don't know where it comes in, but it appears that minorities, in particular blacks, do much better on the fire department process than they do on the police department process.
It really depends on how many start in the process and how many pass through each component of the process. That do you have a statistical report for police, or is that firefighter? Okay, so that one is the next one that we're going to go through. But the fire department, again, it all depends on how they fare out in each different component. Okay, any other questions? Okay, we'll go on to maintenance specialist. This was an entry-level position. Let's go the right way. Entry-level position, again, this position, we did a written exam, which was worth 100%. All candidates were sent the background investigation invitation that passed the written exam, and the starting salary for this position is at 42. That is the entry-level salary, and so we do start any Teamsters on that salary level. We had 47 applicants that started the process. With that, 14 completed more than one application or didn't meet the actual minimum qualifications. 33 then were sent the notification for testing date and time, and out of the 33, 15 did not show for the written exam, and 6 passed the written exam. So with that, we sent all 6 through the backgrounds, and all 6 now are on the certified list. They passed the backgrounds as well.
I think we have a mistake on our applicant flow report.
Okay, what is that?
It says 0 to the referred hired. And on the bottom, it says, the end of the list, it says 0 passed.
That's on maintenance specialist? Is that on the exam part at the very end?
Yeah.
Okay, that is incorrect, so we
Okay.
can send you a new copy if we need to.
Any other questions?
Any questions? No?
Nope.
All right, thank you.
Are we signing on those today, or,
Yep, I will bring them down to you as soon as we're finished here.
okay? Is there anything else? No? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Adjourned. Have a good day.
Okay.